the Black Panther Party was recognized as the vanguard of the revolutionary struggle here in the U.S. That means, and Chairman Fred used to say, ain't no ego trip or nothing like that, but we paid the cost to be the boss. 90% of the activity from COINTELPRO was directed at the black. That ain't what I'm saying, ain't what the Black Panthers saying. It's what the white people, what the state is saying themselves. 90% of the activity was directed at the COINTELPRO, that counterinsurgency program that so many of you have heard and read about, was directed at the Black Panther Party. Now that didn't mean that every church group, anytime you had 3 or 4 people come together on anything, you could be assured at least one of them was an informant, an agent provocateur, a snitch or something, had some kind of tie. The whole point of COINTELPRO, one of the many points, was to have you looking for an FBI agent under every bed and every mailbox to, you know, really paralyze the people from organizing. The Black Panther Party, again, 90% of the activity was directed at the COINTELPRO activity was directed at the Black Panther Party. Now, being the vanguard of the revolutionary struggle, the Black Panther Party was recognized by the Vietnamese people, by the Korean people, by various groups in Africa as the vanguard, inside the belly of the beast, if you will, because it was the Black Panther Party that set the standard and was going toe-to-toe against this government. In that context, Chairman Fred organized a rainbow coalition. It didn't mean we all came together and smoked weed together, or we ate dinner together, or we dressed alike, or everybody walked out the same day, you know, with a blue suit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say unity means we all become one. The unity was that we can all agree on this thing, that the pigs are terrorizing our communities, that the pigs were functioning, y'all call them police, some other things I probably don't even know about. They are terrorizing our communities, and they're the first line of defense for the state. This did not mean that the media was not part of this apparatus. Also, the health care, no health care. Chairman Fred used to talk about you at Cook County Hospital with half your insides out to donate to somebody that else, some other person that needed it, or if you come out at all. So, I'll be 60 in a minute, so my train of thought just, but you have to understand it in that context. It wasn't, I mean, people developed various relationships, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't the Chairman Fred, like Cha-Cha said, Chairman Fred telling the young lords what to do, the young patriots what to do. What can we unite on? We could unite that the pigs function as an occupying army in our community, and that we have one common enemy, the United States government, that was using everything at its disposal to destroy what we were fighting for, power to the people. The black community was under intense attack. Police brutality, as we called it, which we define as police terrorism now, was at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Despite black elected officials and all of this sort of thing going on. So the Black Panther Party said, okay, Chairman Fred's leadership said, if we could get people to come together, now you don't have to join these other groups couldn't join the Black Panther Party. And we were not to join them. We were not to, you know, say, okay, y'all got to stop doing this, you got to start doing this. It's this one or two things. And the survival programs that these other groups were to initiate in their own communities. Now, in this film, somebody said something about SDS. Now, that was Students for a Democratic Society, which was primarily a white student group. And Chairman Fred was very critical of them on their opportunism. That is, they accept the leadership of the Black Panther Party when it's in their interest. He was very critical of them and chastised them for wanting to do the Days of Rage at the Democratic Convention. And Chairman Fred was very clear. He said, y'all go back to suburbia. The black community, at that time, the convention was held by Rockwell, the Horners, you know, all the projects around there where black people live. He was clear the pigs was going to kick in the black people's door, and we would didn't have the military might, if you will, to defend against this vicious police attack. Well, Minister Eldridge Cleaver was a minister, they called him Papa Rage, the Minister of Education for the whole Black Panther Party, sent David Hilliard to put Chairman Fred, who was the Chief of Staff, to put Chairman Fred in check for being critical of the opportunism of the white left and SDS. Chairman Fred even said that it's a vegetation that is being sprouted by the white left that is planting a seed for future generations that will horrify you. He spoke extensively on their opportunism and when it was advantageous to them, accept the leadership of the party, you know, in assessing certain things, but when it wasn't, you know, then they don't want, you know, to accept the leadership of the vanguard. So Mr. Eldridge sent David Hilliard to check Chairman Fred, and Chairman Fred wouldn't take it back, his criticism of the white left, and said, I hate to be egotistical, but I was right. The black community was seized upon, and those same people down there throwing piss balloons at the police went back to suburbia, back to their community. Somebody else spoke to, that's Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Nkrumah, told them to go back and organize in the white community. It was a call by SNCC for white people to go and organize against the racism that was coming out of their community. White people had a shit fit. Can't we all get along? See, they always want to come in and organize the black people to help us, you know, since we didn't know how to organize, we couldn't do this and that. You know what I'm saying? So, SNCC called, and you know what? A lot of the white support, they went around and mobilized people to drive up the financial support, because they was mad because they want us all to get along. Now that reminds me of something that happened when I was at Wright City College, when Chairman Fred came up there to speak. And so I came in late, as I typically am. And Chairman Fred had asked everybody to leave just for the black people. Now we was up there fighting over if other people can join the Black Student Union, because a lot of times you have a student group, the apparatus of the school will not let you be exclusive. You know, you have to. So, you know, our position was, some of us was like, we could make them so uncomfortable, they don't want to come no way. And a lot of people said, we got to let them in, we got to let them in. So Chairman Fred chastised us for talking about Black Panther Party feeding 3,000 children a week in breakfast sites all over the city. And y'all sitting up here debating on if, you know, white people can be in the BSU. There's people getting murdered in the street by the pigs. He just brought it home and made it. But the thing that reminded me of that, when he asked everybody to leave except the black people, the white people said, well, can't we all just sit in here and talk? He wanted to address us. He said, we're going to have a crying session for y'all later. And the struggle has consistently been throughout our fight for liberation and freedom that they want to run our shit. They want to run our shit. The Rainbow Coalition, the Young Lords were who they were. The Young Patriots were who they were. It wasn't to convert all of them to join the Black Panther Party or follow the leadership, the Black Keystone. Chairman Fred met opposition in the party from people on the central staff that did not want the Black Panther Party to go and talk to the Black Keystone Nation. You know what I'm saying? Because they gangbangers, they this, they that. You know what I'm saying? Or the Devil Disciples, who later changed their name to the Black Disciple in recognition of the politicizing the And the fear wasn't that they was going to all join the Black Panther Party. Coalition building. I got to quote Chairman Fred Jr. now. Everybody can't eat Chinese food. Some people, when they eat Chinese food, they're trying to talk Chinese. You know what I'm saying? So this Rainbow Coalition, again, I am sick and tired of people saying, like this patchwork quilt where we all sang Kumbaya. It was one, recognizing the leadership of the Black Panther Party as the vanguard of the revolutionary struggle here in the belly of the beast. We can all participate in it. We can all organize in our community. And again, SDS refused to go in their community. They had an office up on Madison. Well, it was Skid Row then. You know, they had an office up there, and little 10, 12-year-old black kids just go up there and beat them up and take their money. And they say, you know, y'all got to, you know, help us against these little kids. And we say, y'all need to be in the white community. But they knew that the racism and the attack would be so intense in their own communities that they would not want to go, because they know what their mamas and daddies was doing. The Black Panther Party was not nationalistic in that we recognize that this struggle was a class struggle. The haves against the have-nots. The slaves against the slaves.